Welcome back. Another technical demo around the Quarkus application. My name is Daniel O. I'm working for Red Hat as a technical marketing major. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to write Java Serverless application with the Quarkus and how to integrate Quarkus application into in-memory data grid. We already deployed in-memory data grid based on Red Hat data grid operator on top of the OpenShift container platform. So if you don't have any chance to watch the first video, how to deploy and install Red Hat Data Grid operator based on OpenShift Container Platform, please watch that video first, and that will be very helpful to understand this demo. Alright, let's get started. So how does you ready from GraalVM? So people already know Quarkus use GraalVM for neighbor comparison. Mandrill is downstream from GraalVM community-based maintains a project, and this is running on top of the OpenJDK 11. How to write Java Serverless application using Quarkus on Kubernetes and OpenShift container platform. First of all, write your application code and packaging your application like a thin jar, and then deploy OpenShift container platform based on some serverless feature like a Knative. So behind the scene, Quarkus allows us to avoid some mandatory tasks such as creating Docker file and build container image based on that Docker file and create a manifest Kubernetes file such as a service deployment, and then you need to run that YAML file. But Quarkus extension automatically generate container image and push that image into push registry or external registry such as Docker Hub or Quay.io. You're going to have some Kubernetes manifester based on YAML file. This is a whole bunch of the necessary steps will be automatically done by Quarkus. I'm going to deploy the Quarkus application and integrate with the data grid to put some data into my cache. That Quarkus application based on serverless application. Let's jump in the code. Okay, here is my Quarkus application already integrated in-pin span. So first of all, I need to add the Quarkus extension to use OpenShift extension, which allowed us to deploy this application into OpenShift container platform using S2I source to image build strategy. And also I need to in-pin span client extension to connect to remote cache here. The name is default cache. So let's try to add two extension here. The first of all, OpenShift here, and then second one, infinite span client. Let's try to add two extensions in my Quarkus application. It's just done. I'm going to add some simple post method here. So post method, project type, media type, and a plain text here. And I also need to add a new path field. I'm going to define the one public method, field throw exception. And I'm going to make some for loop to add a 1 megabyte dummy character into our cache server. And we're going to do that until the cache is full 500, because I already create data grid on top of the OpenShift container platform. A for loop here to full the all data into cache server. So like 100. And then we just need to, let's try to create new characters here. Characters, new character 100 is just like 1 megabyte here. 10, 24, 24, and semicolon. And I needed to try to fill this character into array characters, just dummy character here, just. And now we're gonna add this array in our cache with the random key, like just I'm gonna create a random key mass. Okay, random, and convert to string as a key, and a variable is the new character to string. Change it to convert to string these characters, and I'm gonna put more another option to lifespan and idle time of this cache, because we're gonna deploy Quarkus application as serverless, and that serverless application will be terminated in 30 seconds as long as the default configuration. So when our Quarkus application is terminated and there's no incoming data into our cache server, which means the cache will be expired along with that time 30-second interval, and the time unit, the unit is second, and another the expand time, idle time, time unit, and second here. All right, and I'm gonna add the logo here, system out, and print L, edit number, and just 1 MB plus megabyte here. All right, and now I'm gonna return code, just a string, edit 100 MB, junk here. And now I'm going to add required configuration into my application properly. I'm going to copy from my cheat sheet. Let's try to enable build first. So you just need to native profile here. When you do native compilation started, the first step is packaging your application based on Ninja along with the S2I processor is one of the feature of OpenShift container platform. So in the make the Ninja, and then we're gonna packaging once again with the native executable file, and then we're gonna make them containerized Ninja, and we're gonna use the base image, the mandrel, because we define here the Quarkus native builder image is mandrel based on OpenJDK 11, and also native container build true means that we're gonna create a container image based on native executable binary file. And also here is the target deployment environment is knative. You can also change this target variable to OpenShift or Kubernetes. If you set it up Kubernetes or OpenShift, this application will be deployed as traditional pod, which means that pod is not going to scale down to 0 automatically. But when you set it up Knative, this will be deployed as Knative service, which means after 30 seconds, your pod will be scaled down to 0 automatically, just like a serverless behavior. So here's a more interesting configuration, how to connect, where is Infinite Span server. This is the service name of Kubernetes, example Infinite Span, and the author name as well here. When you install data grid using operator, username and password will be generated automatically based on Kubernetes secret object. Developer is one of the default username, but password will be generated. You can put in the password as static code inside the application properties, but also you can parameterize with the environment variable. We're going to use the mandrel image, just so we set it on our configuration file and running native image plugin to make executable file. Okay, we just done. Go to target directory under Kubernetes, and you can find the knative YAML file. So this automatically generate, which means the developer doesn't need to create the YAML file with some Kubernetes manifest like a service account service. This is my OpenShift cluster. If you already watched the first video, how we use Prometheus and Grafana for monitoring the cache data, just apply this YAML file, knative command line here. And after that, the application automatically just runs. When you click on logs, 13 milliseconds to start off. This is the reason why Quarkus is super fast. And you click on route URL, infinite span. Now you can have hello world infinite span. And when you go to Grafana here, now we got one entry and one node. And we can have the link to make some relationship. And also you can change your label, OpenShift runtime equal Quarkus. And you can see this is a Quarkus application. And this application will be automatically scaled down to 0 in 30 seconds. All right. So our Quarkus application is terminated. And let's try to call another endpoint, and now you can see Quarkus application automatically up. And you click on that, just track the bureau. As you can see, the application just filled up. And when you go to dashboard here, now you can see the entries keep increasing. So when Quarkus application is terminated in next 30 seconds, as you know, pushing the data into cache server, which means the cache server will be scaled down to 1 as default application. Just in order to recap what we run today of this demo, so I hopefully you enjoyed this video and learn how to implement Focus application, specifically Java Serverless, and how to integrate the remote cache based on Red Hat data grid using Quarkus infinite span client extension as well as. Thanks for watching and make sure to subscribe for the next interesting video. Have a good rest of the day.